down, but can they hold on to this? We've seen how bullshit these two teams are willing to get with each other, especially when it comes to this Viper's Pit. They are not scared of tanking that damage, tanking that potential of an easy pick. So this could be an interesting one indeed.
And look at that, they are doubling up now, both away of the Vipers' low HP, playing for this numbers game, but is Rantaro going to be able to hit the spray transfer? The timing's going back and forth between these three players, and Rex Egg is going to swing out and get that pick, getting the defuse as well in plentiful time.
Beautiful stuff at Shente. That was, whew. Again, I was wondering, are they just going to tank the pit? Of course they had to. Of course they had to in that moment. But it's this idea of, you can't see through that. It's one of the most awkward things to have to try and do. You have to fully rely on your ears, essentially, from the get-go. And it's, again, another moment of these two teams just being so confident each other, being like, Joe, we'll just go for it. You hold the defuse, I'll swing this corner, and we'll see what happens. And it worked out so well for them. So well.
I know that is forcing them onto an ego, which is forcing them really to play for this overtime, since they don't really have much win conditions on the side of Boosted Eagles for this round. No Tour de Force, no Blade Storm, and it really is going to be down onto, well, really utilizing as much damage as they can do this round to play for overtime. But the timing, Bingos, we've seen the timing go back and forth through these two Jet players. And now it's Bingus' turn to come out on top.
This is it. Loads of utility being dumped here by Boosted Eagles just to really make sure they can apply this pressure for defense from the get-go. But there we go. Egg taking out Rantaro. Beautiful shot there. Can they get a second? No, Vitronix is going to steal it from them. No sneaky snipe shot for you right now. We're about to get some chamber-on-chamber action as they're desperately hunting for the head of Zubair right now. Looks like for now the rotation is coming through though from the attack. Looks like they're swiftly making their way towards that A site instead. The back channel a little bit safer, but again, speaking of safety, these flashes, they do appear to be more safety flashes, more time-burning flashes. I mean, certainly, speaking of flashy, we're seeing some flashy shots from Egg now. Another shot on the table. Can Bunny land this one? Yes, they can. Can they get the second? Yes, they can! Beautiful stuff there. The things you love to see, Winter.
Absolutely, and that is it. We're on match point for the very first map in this weighted BO5. It does seem like the side of Ashente have started warming up a little bit more. It doesn't just seem to be Pinker and friends now. Egg getting a lot of impactful operator kills as well. Bunny then with the cleanups on some of these rounds as well. But this is the round that is really more important. We're playing for the overtime from the side of Boosted Eagles. This is the rifle v rifle round. There's no operator invested on this side. As well, quite frankly, they haven't got the economic standpoint to really invest into it.
100%. Where things can get dicey. Ooh, a little bit scrappy there, but Bingus ultimately coming out on top. Pinker falling down. That's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for the side of Ashente, but again, we've really seen how the rest of these players wing their ones, especially players like Egg. Can they land another? Yes, they can! Beautiful stuff. Zubair falls. Can they hunt out this second? Not quite yet, as Vetronix is going to take down Java. And again, Boosted Eagles, no immediate trades coming through. Well, as I say it, Lovrita's going to collect that trade as Skeleton takes down Rantaro. But again, for now, it's not looking too good. A little bit dicey, a little bit more pressure being thrown their way, certainly, and Bunny, rightfully so, is going to pull away to safety. Again, it's all about applying this time, all about applying this pressure and how it can benefit you, and that's exactly why Bingus is just going to straight go for that spike plant.
And look at this, we're in a 2v3, but the health on Vitronix is quite low. I really do want to see, the regrowth is there just to bring it back up to full HP. I really do want to see like an aggressive from one of these players. Look at that, Bingus there as well, playing it 2-on-2 now with their teammate. Away now of Bunny's position. Damage done onto Bingus. See what Egg can do now in this round.
So Egg there to finish it off with a cheeky little 2K. And there we have it. I mean, I do believe actually that is currently 2-0 to Ashente, is it not?
Yeah, so obviously it was a weighted grand final, so they are one map advantage anyway. So their win map was Bind, in which it was vetoed. And now they've taken the win on Pearl as well. So they are they're on series point, grand finals point. They only have to close out one more map. But let's take a little recap of what we saw on Pearl. Anything that stood out to you particularly?
I mean, again, it was just the phenomenal plays from Pinker from the get go, and then as time went on towards the end, their eggs started picking up the pace a lot more. It started getting a lot more scrappy on both sides. One thing I will say at the beginning, Boosted Eagles' defense, I really wanted to see them contest that be long a little bit more. I really do think it's a very important, especially for that early round. It's so quick for the attack to approach that with a lot of speed. If you can utilize that line of sight to your advantage, it can be chef's kiss. You can essentially get those early engagements in your belt and then fall back around those corners, then go to a more passive, safe position. But again, we are going. It's a shame, really, because I really wanted to see that go to overtime. To be honest, Winter. Again, well, personally, I don't get to cast a lot of Pearl, and I finally got it, and now I'm like, oh, it's
Is
over.
that it?
But
Can we get a few more rounds, please? Can we get
that's what I
overtime?
want.
Like maybe
That's
like
what I
triple
want.
overtime, right? And get into like 19-17. That'd be great. First map for the grand finals. Plus, I get to do lots of Pearl. But that is it. It is Pearl in the favor of Ashenta. They're currently 2-0 in the series. One more map for them to close out. We'll be back for the next map after a short 5-minute break.
Transcend humanity with Omen.
What is that?
It's cutting edge VR, Flynn.
It looks like it's something from the future, you know?
Flynn took a trip to future London, saw something she wasn't supposed to. Now people from there are trying to kill us.
Welcome back. I am Wintari and this is Grace, my lovely co-caster. Today we have just come out of the second map of this weighted BO5. The winner going to Ashante now on series point to earn the £250 Amazon voucher for the prize. But Pill's done and gone. It was a 13-9, but the next map will be Haven. And Grace, I know you are a Fade fangirl, and this is definitely a map where Fade is used quite a bit, especially in team play. We have the Phase, Suck, and then the Raise Nade. Absolutely devastating part of utility on this map. But what are we thinking going into this?
This is it, right? It's typically, you know, historically we dictate this as a attacker-sided map. You've got the free sites that you would spread your defense across, and naturally it can be a little bit more difficult to defend it. You really need to have your util game on point on that defense to make sure you maintain as much map control as possible. But that's exactly why the Fade coming in can be a nice thing on both sides, to be honest, Winter. And again, we consider the fact that if there is a team that wants to get a little bit cheeky with it, a little bit bolshy with it, you need to make sure those early round engagements go in your favor. And from the get-go, you need to make sure that that aggression is being brought on that defense. You need to sometimes go for those overextensions and those cheeky little ratty angles, and utilizing the Fade abilities that you have in your pocket. If you do select that agent, can certainly make things a lot easier. And again, it can really apply the pressure on the attackers from the get-go. So instead of having them stampede towards one side or the other, they hold off a little bit. They're like, okay, we don't want to get spotted out a bit too early. We want to play this a little bit slower. So again, it's all about maintaining that timer to go in your favor when it comes to these larger maps.
Yeah, definitely maintaining order across the map. It is a 3-site map for any of those who don't know. So it's definitely a test for the IGLs. So I'm not too sure who's IGLing on either team, but this is going to really test their knowledge on the rotations and information gathering from the Fade or the Sova or even KO possibly. It's definitely all about the early information gain, being able to really set up what kind of defense that you want, whether you want to be anchoring towards one side or to the other. But we are going to be going into agent select now. Let's see if we can get a Fade. Right. My dream comp.
Okay.
I'm doing this for every map that we're gonna do.
Please do.
I'm just gonna enforce my comp onto everyone. So basically, as the basic as you can go, a chamber or a killjoy that can be into switch. Then we can get a Raise, a Fade, a Omen, and what have I done? Raise, Fade, chamber, Omen. Who have I missed? Oh. No, I've got initiate. Breach, double initiator for this map.
There we
Especially
go.
I was gonna say, I've duelist, initiator, sentinel. What have I missed? It's double initiator. I really do love the double initiator on this map, and look at that. They've read my mind. I'm just imposing my comp onto people. It's the phase. We have the Fade and Breach for our initiate. We do have the Astra coming out for this Smokes. Especially useful with these Suck and Stuns, and great onto post plants, but it's just going to get switched out. What do I know? The Omen might be better.
But this is it. I think someone taking the Astra over the Omen, it's again, we think about the ult utility on that Astra. That can be huge on this map. Again, a large map. And if you can cut off so much of your opposition with that ulti over, I think the Omen ult can be very situational. So again, it's yeah, I think I would prefer personally the Astra here. The fact that we're getting the Fade, of course, naturally. The Killjoy as well. I mean, there are some really, really nice Killjoy placements on this map, especially when it comes to retaking. You know, we have some really sneaky places where you can position that lockdown as well. So that is something that kind of can be a little bit bread and butter sometimes, but at least we're starting to see. And I just want to question this, okay? The neon. The neon.
Timings. I've said this is such a rotation-based map. If you were all knowing about the general timings of rotations, runs, slow walks, but a neon's sprintability can really throw off timings on attack, but also on defense. So you say you've like, oh, I've got information. There's a jet and breach on A, neon's on C. Doesn't matter who's on B and garage. But then this neon can then sprint over towards A side, really bulk up their defense there in matter of seconds, and then even possibly before the execute has fully come through, which just throws off the balance, throws off what information they do have on that side exec, and neon's up there in your face with this sprint ability.
This is it, especially when it's on the attack. It needs to be an aggressive entry on that neon. Speaking of aggression, Egg absolutely going for it there. Lavrita falling down. No immediate trade-off just yet, but there's one for Skeleton. There's one for Vetronix as well. Whittling down this attack like there's no tomorrow. Java does get one off before being traded out by Egg, though. But poor Zubair is now in a 1vx situation. And I mean, it is only that first opening pistol round, but it's going to be a bit of an uncomfortable way to enter into this map.
Oh, the pop and swing from Bunny, not really letting go of the WASD until all the chamber headhunters are out, and that is the threat gone. But lovely round coming in from Ashente. The reveal not picking up onto Egg, which I'm quite surprised by. Maybe it missed the lineup possibly, but Egg really being able to capitalize off that misinformation given by that Fade reveal. Lovely first entry into this round.
Yeah, and already it's a pretty structured approach coming through from Ashente. Speaking of structure, some of this utility going out initially to try and start to apply this pressure. There we go. Bunny forced back into sight. That's at least going to give a little bit of knowledge to the defense here. But this push may be coming towards A. And this is where, there we go. Bunny gets a little bit aggro. Pinker as well. Zubair falling down. No immediate trades yet again from the side of Boosted Eagles. Pinker and Bunny, one apiece. Yet again, we love to see it. But this is the point we want to see Java do something massive here. Can they land this shot to Pinker? No, they can't. But that's at least a free K for Pinker on the round. Again, second round going in the favor of Ashente. It's looking like a decent defense for them so far, but this is where things could change, right? This is where, you know, Boosted Eagles can start to pick up some of these rifles and things can go a little bit nicer for them in these gunfights.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the rifle round. This should idealistically be the 2-1 that we're going to be seeing. We have the upgraded weapons, rifles versus SMGs, but it really does depend on how they do want to approach this. But it does look like we're going to have a fast presence on C long.
Certainly so. Go Prowler going Gal's going to give a little bit of info away, but Egg, no, you can't land your shots right now. Bingus is going to take you out, but Skeleton can trade it back out before Rentero gets a trade of their own. Again, very back and forth on that C side, but that's it. He's going to make some breathing room. They can get the spike down if they wish. Vitronix does take down Zubair. But again, this is going to be a retake situation for Ashente. Could this be Boosted Eagles getting their first round on the board? Not like that. Vitronix is going to take down Java. Rentaro trades it immediately back out before Lavrita falls to Bunny and Rentaro in a 1vx post plant. There's one. Can they get the second? The flash can go out again, just delaying that timer more and more. Can Vitronix land a shot here? Yes, they can. That is a third for the round. And goodness gracious me, that was a nice little clutch coming through. And there we go. Ashente again.
And that is exactly what we don't want to be seeing if you are a Boosted Eagle fan. It is lovely first pick onto site, but the follow-up wasn't there, being able to, well, shot in the back really by the player running out of garage. The trade did come in a little bit too late and then left in a 3v4 retake. Lost a rifle in garage, which then gave Vitronix all the ability then to come out onto site and to clutch that up with that upgraded rifle, and it just turned into a normal gun v gun round, really pushing the favor in to their side.
Certainly so. Futil going out to try and clear out a bit of breathing room on this B side, and that's going to allow Pinker to potentially go for a little bit of the old razzle-dazzle skeleton. Beautiful pick there onto Bingus. No immediate trade due to that smoke. Can't quite find the head just yet, but again, Pinker was able to take down Rantaro. At least the side of Boosted Eagles will know there's potentially a push coming from A there. That's why we're going to see a little bit of a Lurkerini, a little bit of a holdback. Just waiting for her. Java taking out Bunny. Pinkervo is actually going to take down Zubair, who was ready and waiting for her. Vitronix wanted Java as well. And poor Lavrita falls to Skeleton. Again, if you're an Boosted Eagles fan, it is not a good match for you so far. But what can Boosted Eagles do to try and pull this back round, Winter?
Just as a general thing, it does seem like we're putting too much pressure in certain areas and then really allowing so much space for the side of Ashente to really weasel their way in. We have lovely pressure mid. That's great. We are an eco in fairness, so lovely pressure mid, drawing the players in, but we left A main open, which we've had numerous rounds now with the Breach and Jet flanking up behind, getting those picks. It's just something that they need to really be aware of and not overcommit to something that they haven't got any entries on. But the entry on this round is going to Bunny onto Lavrita. Pinka picking up one for herself onto Bingus as well.
This is it. We've seen Pinker be so dominant so far in this series. So dominant in the season in general. Beautiful pick there by Bunny. Rantaro trying to contest it. Can Zubair get this trade off? No, they can't, because Bunny's just going to collect another one before being traded out by Java. Java with the 2k bow, cleaning up Bunny and Pinker. Svatali's a little bit better, but Skeleton ready and waiting to collect that final kill for the side of Ashente. And goodness gracious me. I'm just curious, Winter, to be honest. Again, I think the Neon would have worked if Boosted Eagles was starting on that defense. On the attack, it kind of implies like, okay, they were going to go for something hyper-aggressive, an immediate storm towards that site, maybe. I'm wondering if perhaps they took something different. You know, maybe a jet of their own, maybe a raise, for example. We might have seen things go a little bit more favorable, a little bit more util in pocket, you know?
Yeah, possibly. The Neon can work, but like you said, we need these aggressive plays, possibly even just an aggressive pick and then get out as soon as. But Bunny, the aggressive pick is going to be on Zubair, and she is not getting out. Well, now she will be backing off a little bit to safety. Pink picking up one for herself there.
Again, no immediate trade. Well, there we go. Bingus holding on to Pinkerbell. Rita falls down, but Skeleton shutting down Bingus, and another onto Java as well. Ashente, certainly, I mean, we talk of stable scorchers, we talk of barn burners, but this is just a farm fire. It is really strong stuff from Ashente. 6 rounds on the board, completely uncontested in these rounds as well. Boosted Eagles fans in chat, send them your energy, please. They need to pull this back round now. If they can try and pull back some of these rounds, maybe they can get them on the defense. But again, Ashente being on that defensive side right now, they're the ones that should have the crutch against them, Winter.
Yeah, it's definitely spam the chat with all your, well, copy pastas, but it's not going to help Bingus in this round. Skeleton picking up the entry for herself there.
There we go. Pinker and Vitronix won a piece. Yet again, I mean, horrible combo to deal with is Pinker and Co. And there we go. Vitronix, another shot there to finish things off onto Zubair. It's not looking good. 7 rounds on the board.
And it is a 7-0 lead, like you have said, and the economy looking strong. They're not even losing people in these gunfights. The maximum amount of deaths we've had is 3, and that is on your Jet, which is, it's expected. They're going to be the ones taking the entry kills, but also Bunny. Bunny's just walking down short and picking up 3 majority of the time they go down there. And it's just hard in the side of Boosted Eagles on what you want to do, because you're constantly on this back foot on the side of economy, with the sense of, are they having to forego utility? Are they having to forego armor in order to get these buys through? But they will be on full loss bonus now, so hopefully we'll be able to, well, continue to buy it up. But Pinker is going to get that pick onto Rentaro, opening up the round again in favor of Ashante.
Certainly so, the aggression from Bunny, but Zuba ready and waiting. There we go. Is able to clean that up. Can Pinker land the shot? No, they can't. Zuba pulling in work right now. That's a 2k for the round thus far, and taking down two very dominant players of Ashante. So the breathing room opened up now, and that's going to mean a direct storm towards this A site. Look at this. Can Bingus contest it at the back? Can this spike go down? And can it be held? Vetronix, beautiful pick there onto Java. And no immediate trade. Again, look at how much site control they have right now. Could this be the first Boosted Eagles round on the board? Only time can tell. Stadium still going out like it's hotcakes at Christmas.
Now the counter Nightfall. The counter Nightfall is in. Now it's a 3v3 retake. Both teams are blind, but the trade's going in. Bingus, Egg, and Vitrinix all picking up one. Now it is a 2v1 situation. Lavrita is the only player remaining for the side of Boosted Eagles. The pick onto the diffuser. 3 bullets in hand now. The suck is in from the fade. Going in. And the swing! Skeleton head is taken clean off, and no time either way for the defuse, and that is it. The first round for Boosted Eagles is in. Lovely picks from Zuba to open up that round. The headhunter really found the heads that round.
100%. I bet Lavrita's heart is bursting through her chest right now. Not the most favorable of positions to be left in, but certainly clutched it out for her team. And as Winter perfectly said, you know, 1 round on the board, that is still better than 0. And it's the things we like to see. Can they get a second one, though? That is a question on everyone's list. The flash going out towards Skeleton. They're trying to hightail it out there. The Bingus is hungry for it. There we go. Opening up some breathing room now, but are they aware of Egg? The pre-buy is coming through. There we go. Rentaro takes her out. Can this fight go down yet again? And can they hold these angles for yet another round on the table? Spike is plunked down. Now it's just a waiting game.
Breacheld and Operator in the side of Ashante, but the shots from Pink are able to close out onto Zuba. Blaze Storm in hand now, and is going to be able to fast push in now. Vitrinix with the help over the Rolling Thunder. Bingus is out for the count.
The count indeed. Look at how much breathing room they've created for themselves. Goodness gracious me. Bunny and the Bladestorm doing up to take down Rentaro. There we go. A second one to Java. Lavrita takes out Pinker, but Bunny is there. And goodness me, that was an admirable attempt there by Boosted Eagles. But Ashante came with the thunder. Did you see how quickly they regained that site control with that lockdown?
Yeah, the lockdown from the side of Vitrinix and the Rolling Thunder, pushing these players off site and well into unfavorable angles, especially if you are all stunned up by Bunny's ultimate. Unfortunately for them, that is the only good price plant that we've seen so far from the side of Boosted Eagles. But there's 3 rounds left. Let's see if we can get the plant down and secure the price plant like we did in 2 rounds previous.
And this is exactly what we wanted to see from the get-go from Bingus. Look how quickly they've created this room and this space for this collapse to come through. This spike should go down pretty quickly, but Bingus is hungry for it, looking for these engagements. It's still a 5 versus 5 Winter. That spike is down, but it's a 5v5 post plan, and this is where things get really scrappy. Vetronix and Egg, 1 apiece. Bingus and Zubair falling down. Return Lavrita 2. Java, it's all left to you, up to you, my friend. Can you clutch this out? The defuse is starting to be stuck. There's 1 onto Bunny. There's 2 onto Vitrinix. Can you get the 3rd here? And maybe the 4th? No! The things you hate to see. The diffuser was stuck. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, it is a questionable plant spot, especially since Java was not on site, possibly even playing the side of Boosted Eagles. We're playing for the full man on site. Java holds the flank with Zubit, but I'm not too sure how Zoo did not hear that smoke getting put down on the trap, which lovely play by Eggs, making the chamber trip. and being able to sneak behind enemy lines. We've seen that quite a lot recently, especially on this map. It's so big, it's very easy to get these flanks in, but it's very unfortunate timing for Zoo.
You want to play?
So
Let's play.
Claro sending out the dog. Not quite getting any info for her teammates just yet, but at least they can assume the garage is safe, but assuming incorrectly, potentially the smoke is covering a sneaky little Veteranix hiding, lurking. Speaking of lurking, Skeleton attempting to go against the chamber like that and immediately taken out. Bingus yet again is hoping to get the opening engagements here as they collapse into that C side. Beautiful pick by Veteranix though. Java trades immediately back. Egg with one as well. Hiding up on boxes like that. It is a sneaky ratty angle. The things we love to see, Winter. The things we love to see.
And things we love to see is Boosted Eagles in a post plan, a man advantage post plan as well. Now the information with that Sky Flash is found. We know there's one towards garage, but are we aware of Pinker sneaking in CT? Now we are from that dash, but it doesn't matter. Pick onto Larita. Now we have 1v1. Pinker has cleaned up site. Can she clean up the chamber of Zube on this tour de force? No, the shot connects, and look at that post plant completed. That's a lovely post plant that we've seen from Boosted Eagles. The second round now they're able to secure in this half. The last round now, the economy is still going strong for the side of Ashente and a little bit weaker on the side of Boosted Eagles, but it doesn't matter. We've got that round in. It is rounds that equals wins. So the closer we can make this round differential, the easier it will be going into the defensive half.
Certainly so. The main concern here is again Shente going onto that attack. I would expect them to go pretty fast and furious with it. We really need to see Boosted Eagles get this final attacking round under their belt. I think it's certainly going to put the wind under their sails. Skeleton hiding in the smoke yet again. This pressure into garage starts to come through. Not sure if Java is aware of Egg just around the corner there. Only time will tell. Useful going out is going to hopefully give a little bit of an indication that that fallback has happened. That's going to open up some breathing space, but there we go. Spike is now down under Egg's feet. Another one onto Bingus. And which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, it's not a chicken sitting on the spike right now. It is indeed the egg, and there we go, whittling down these attackers more and more. And Taro in a 1vx, but Pinker is there. And that is a flawless round to finish things off with.
Switching sides.
It's just so unfortunate. They had the C side control, but they left the bomb along with the solo Omen player walking up. If that Omen gets picked off, we've seen what we've just seen. The spike is, well, going to be sat on by the egg that we have in the server today. But 10-2 half is looking very strong for Shente. They've kind of come into this like, oh, we don't want to make it to 4 maps, 5 maps. We've already got our weighted advantage. Let's close this out in a 3-0 fashion.
I mean, it's such a shame, though, isn't it? It's such a shame. We think about how close, how scrappy, how back and forth Pearl was. This is the problem with maps like Haven, though. You either get it or you don't. It's such a kind of Achilles heel for a lot of teams. And unfortunately, yeah, the attack just hasn't been there for Boosted Eagles. And this is where the attack certainly may be here for Ashente. We'll just say that, but Java's going to take out Pinker, but that spike still being attempted to be plonked down. And there we go. Bunny holding this angle towards Garage as expected. It's all about the Angels, Winter. It's all about the Angels. Speaking of Angels, Zubair is going to take down the Skeleton. Can a second one come through? No, it can't. Bunny's going to take them down. Bingus, Lavrita, and Rentaro coming through to clean up shop. And that is certainly a lot better.
And do you know what? We have a Neon with a shorty. I do love it. I do love to see that. And it does seem that Bingus has kind of taken it in her stride. We've seen the judge on fall by rounds going into the B area, and now we have the shorty with the fast, well, run and slide onto side, being able to really pick up those close quarter kills. But Zube, lovely shots from her coming through too.
100%. I think already, like them getting the defensive round under their belts. I mean, again, granted, it was a very fast and furious attack. The collapse came through almost instantaneously. The fact that Boosted Eagles were able to pull it back like that is certainly a good sign. But again, speaking of pulling it back, 7 rounds on the trot they'll have to go to bring this even Stevens. you're a fan of Boosted Eagles right now, you really need to send them your energy, as we said. No time like the present. Zuba in this little ratty angle. Has he been spotted out? She has been spotted out. Yes, she has. But Vetronix, you're going to fall down because you're not quick enough. No immediate trade either. Java holding this angle. Skeleton, you're about to walk into it, my friend. No, you're not, because of smoke. The tactical smoke to cover it up. The things we love to see. Pink, a beautiful pick there onto Bingus. But can the trades come through? Yes, they can. Lavrita, a 2K for Java, finishes things off. And that is another defensive round on the board for Boosted Eagles. Where was this energy on the attack, Winter?
Absolutely, but we did see 2 judges going into that round. I think we've kind of coined a new trademark for the side of Boosted Eagles. They are these shotgun players. But lovely stuff from the first picks into Garage. Unfortunate about the trades, then I don't think Bingus was quite aware that they were already up Garage window, peeking from CT. But it doesn't matter. It was 2 kills. They've been able to carry a Judge, a Spectre, and a Marshall through to the next round. This Marshall can prove dividend for anyone peeking this C-Long, where it does seem the omen of Ashante is posted up.
Ooh.
I'll post it up no more, but Zuba is going to be able to get that pick, that Phantom as well, and the information onto Vitronix's position as well. Really putting a hole in this, well, buy from the side of Ashante. This is the bonus round from Boosted Eagles. Remember that they are going into this with, well, not the best of weapons, but it is really showing with Bunny and Pink are picking up 1 for themselves onto Rentaro and Bingus.
100%. Again, no immediate trades, but Lavrita, this could be huge. There we go. There's 1. Can you get the second? No, you can't. Skeleton is going to shut down that little bit of ruckus that we just saw. And here we go. The collapse can come through on this A site because it's pretty much free for the taking, free for the pickings. And there we go. The spike being plonked down. But as we say, Winter, it's all about those angels. Can they hold on to this? We've seen some really nice retakes thus far.
Absolutely, and we do have 1 upgraded rifle in the hands of Zuba. I believe the stuns, the aftershock, the killjoy turret, all the util is working against them so far in this retake.
This could be massive. There we go. Skeleton wanted Java, but Bunny can't swing in time. But Skeleton is there to clean it up. Whew. We are edging closer and closer, Winter, to that match point situation.
Yeah, they're edging it closer and closer to closing this out. It is looking good for your predictions, Grace. Not so much for any of the Boosted Eagle fans out there. But the tour de force is online for Zuba. We've seen the effects and, well, influence she can have on rounds with this in her hands. Let's see if it's going to be the same on Haven as it was on Pearl.
100%. Odin in the hands of Lavrita could be potentially a dangerous force to be reckoned with. We'll see how that goes. Again, the Fade util with that kind of gunpowder can be kind of an amusing situation, I would say.
It is still a 5v5. Information gathered mid with that flash, but Bunny is on a slither of HP. The Omen on A side could quite literally sneeze and she would be down for the count. The X-Sec is coming through now. The smokes now from Java trying to slow down, pull her team in for the rotates.
Ooh.
Reveal, unfortunately, is going to show her up. Egg with their lovely entry onto the round. Spike is down and now it is a retake in.
Retake indeed. Speaking of retakes on Taro, that's a beautiful opening engagement going in the favor of Boosted Eagles, taking out Pinker of all people. Lavrita, Odin in hand. Let's see how this goes. Can they make this work? Maybe if they get closer and closer towards A long, it could be quite funny. Poor Buddy around the corner there, but it looks like for now, they're just using this neon utility, trying to give a bit of cover, but there we go. Cover us nothing when Egg is there. We've seen this work so well. Ventrix to clean up shop 2. Beautiful stuff there from the side of Ashente. And goodness me, that is indeed match point.
Lovely effort from Bingus with the, well, Neon Wall trying to give a little bit of cover with that Rolling Thunder coming through from Ashente. Great post plant from them, not really committing anything onto the site other than, well, a player and a half, really. We had with the health advantage that they had. We had the Killjoy util on the bomb, we had a Rolling Thunder in pocket as well. There is no need to really peek, take your time, and, well, it really did pay dividends to them.
Ooh, here we go. Bingo's first one to Pinker. Bunny is going to shut that down, though. That could have been a lot more massive. We would have loved to have seen that. Rantaro, however, is going to shut down Egg. Egg, of all people, having a little bit of a spicy game on this map, and it's the things we love to see. But Rantaro as well, going for that swing. Vetronix is going to shut her down. Zubair looking for a cheeky little shot down to Skeleton. Is going to get it a second one onto Bunny before being traded out by Vetronix. But Vetronix in a 1 versus 2. They do have the spike very close by, so they can pick that up and try and go for a cheeky little rotate of the defense, aware of where this Killjoy player is. Only time will tell. Looks like she's going to hightail it towards that A side, and this is where things could get a little bit uncomfortable. Again, are they reading into this? For now, it doesn't look like they are. The quiet before the storm, though. Slowly but surely making her way. Loads of time to work with, taking her sweet, sweet time. Going to set up a few little pieces of util just to cover her back, so to speak. And that spike, rightfully so, is going to go down.
And look at this, it is going to be a retake, but the players are going to be splitting up. We're not, well, really playing together. Vitronix should be able to isolate these 1v1s, and this is exactly what she's doing, trying to get an early pick onto CT. The turret there to warn her. And there's a way that there's one short. Now she knows that they are separate. Vitronix aware of Lavita's position. Get the connection on, but 14 HP. Is she going to connect onto Java? No. Java connects out the headshot, buying another round, another chance for their team to bring this back, to get into overtime, to win out this map, and carry on to the second map of this BO5.
This is it, though. Can Boost Eagles? Can they get 7 rounds on the trot? That is the question on everybody's lips. And unfortunately, it could look very unlikely because even one tiny mistake right now could cost them. And that's where they really need to cross their T's, dot their I's, mind their P's and Q's. Certainly, I think, again, the tiny mistake, though, of the lack of duo push for kind of splitting up almost... Nearly cost them. Beautiful swing by Java to kind of secure that, but again, they're being a bit cheeky, a bit too cheeky for my liking right now.
Absolutely, but it doesn't matter. The round is won, and luckily for Boosted Eagles, they can play on their ones. They trust in their ability to win their ones, and it's what they did. But now, Ashente are going to be on an eco. You have marshals, you have sheriffs, and I believe you have a stinger in this somewhere as well, but we do have the Nightfall coming in. Are we going to invest this? Especially onto Rex's position. Rantaro, lovely trade there. Not even able to give the first pick away, but 5v3.
5v3, make that a 5v4. Lavarita falling down, but again, the defense has so much breathing room here for them to work with. Zubair, beautiful play. Rantaro, another wet for Zubair, and there we go, a really clean retake. I mean, I said, can they get 7 more rounds in a row? That's at least 1.
Well, that is 1, and we said they need 7 more, so it's 1 out of 7. We're getting there, okay? We just need another one. And then 1 more. It's like when you queue in ranked at like 3 AM. It's just, just 1 more. We can't end it on a loss, right? We just need 1 more, right?
We can't end on a loss. They're
Exactly.
like the worst. That's the worst phrase in my entire existence. Like, I could literally be, you know, when you get so tired that you just feel like really crunchy, and then someone's like, we can't end on a loss, and you're like, okay, fine,
we can't.
fine.
You can't, Grace. It's like, I think last night I was sat in my chair, I had my blanket on, we were in queue in 5 months, Valorant, Immortal Elo, and we were queuing for 40 minutes, I believe, and then it popped. We completely forgot we were in queue, and we were like, oh, you can't play it, right? But what is going to be playing is Pinker in this server, definitely tuned in for this one, getting that first shot onto Bingus. It is the duelist v duelist action, and Pinker coming out on top this round.
100%. I mean, Pinker's had a really, really good run of it today. Some absolutely phenomenal work across both maps thus far. Montero holding on to a little bit of a quiet before the storm. Again, Egg, another player we've seen do some phenomenal things when it matters. Let's see if they can make something work now. Look, it really looks like they're putting the feelers out here, but there we go. Put the feelers out too quick, and Zubair will be ready and waiting to cut one of them off. There we go. Lavrita, can they swing and get this pick onto Pinker? Yes, they can. They don't even have to go for the swing, just holding that angle. Those all-important angels, the overextension as they get that site control, and that spike is down. Vitrinix, beautiful pick there onto Rantaro. Java, beautiful trade out onto Vitrinix as well. Again, can they hold on to this for as long as possible? Lavrita's going to send out a little bit of a dog of her own. The Prowler going out to really try and work out where some of these players are. You could potentially safely assume there's someone here in hell. Well, certainly you know they're there now. The duo swing coming out. Zubair's going to take out Egg, and poor Skeleton in a 1vx. The smoke goes down to try and give a bit of cover so this defuse can go through. But will the pre-fire work here? No, it won't. Zubair, beautiful shot there. And that defuse can come through. Again, boosted Eagles holding on for dear life here. A really, really good run for it.
Absolutely, like, right. 7 rounds, we've already got 2. So, it's getting a little bit more and more possible. That was a full buy round as well from Ashente. Now they're going to be going into an eco. So, realistically, we should be able to call this a 7-8. If no mishaps or, well, quite frankly, upsets happen in regards to this round. We have Sheriffs, we have a Stinger, nothing much threatening in the sense of guns, but we do have the wing con over the breach utility, and Rantaro is going to commit to that fight to the Sheriff, even though he's stunned, and that is the Vandal now in the hands of Bunny.
Lavrita, Bingus, 1 apiece. Pinker and Bunny falling down. That is indeed the spike down for the count. This is where the pickup needs to happen. Java, beautiful pick there onto Egg as well. And this approach has borderline fallen apart. Beautiful, cheeky little shot there by Skeleton. Little bit of a moment there. Can they find this player? Certainly, yes, they can. There we go. Beautiful use of util and swing. Java and Lavrita falling out. This is going to make some more breathing room. Bingus getting the pick there. A 1 versus 1. But there we go. Bingus, as you can see on the screen, a beautiful, beautiful clutch coming through. And that is another round. Only 4 more rounds to go. And we can take this to overtime.
Wow. 7 rounds, now 6 rounds, now 5 rounds. It is getting a lot more doable to get into this into overtime. I did say that should have been an easier round, but it did come into that 1v1 situation. A lot of utility, well, invested on the side of Boosted Eagles, and really not much on the side of Ashente. No ults invested, and they were able to really dwindle down these picks and isolate these 1v1s, especially on the mid picks from Rantaro. And it does seem Bunny is going to try and do that again. See if they can capitalize it off it again, like they have in the previous round.
100%. Rantaro. No immediate push there to try and take her out, but there we go. The lockdown is going to come through, and presumably that's going to be a little bit of a B collapse, but it's just not coming through. Is this due to the congestion we're seeing here? Pinker actually finally pushing Rantaro back away, and that spike can go down, but it's going to be a clunky retake here. Look at where everyone is positioned, Winter. This should be quite interesting.
And that is it. Vitrinix is able to get the first pick of this round onto Rantaro, and Pinker picking up another one. Vitrinix, now it's a 4v2, but the Rolling Thunder online, and is going to tag up both of these players. Flash in onto Lavrita. There's not really much they can do about it. Skeleton onto Zubair, Bunny into the fade.
And there we have it, Winter. That is Ashente. For the first time ever, finally getting their finals Dubbington, and certainly they deserve it. Pinker and Vitrinix finishing that game on 21 kills each. Again, Pinker has been really showing up today, and we've seen some really beautiful plays from this team today. Some very aggressive plays, some really precise and on the nose plays from them both, especially when it comes to those cheeky little duo swings. Again, hats off to Boosted Eagles, though. That map on Pearl, I was like, this is going to be an incredible series, but just unfortunately, they just really lost it when it came to this map. Perhaps just not the best map for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But we did see a little bit more bark to the bite in the defensive half. It did seem that they were getting a little bit more confident on this map and in the setups that they had. It's definitely easier to defend than attack, since on the attack you have to be a little bit more coordinated, a little bit more information found. But the defense down to a T was definitely a lot stronger. But it doesn't matter if your defense is stronger than your attack or not. If the win goes in the favor of Ascente are winning that third map and putting them 3-0 in the grand finals of the women and non-binary 2022 Winter Amazon Tournament. And
100%.
yeah.
Oof. I'm just stoked for them. Like, that's just it's this idea that like Ascente, they battled so hard last time. Now they're finally those final winners. Like, I love that progress when it comes to these teams. It's about constantly coming back and trying. And I think again, all the teams that we've had this season, it's about coming back next time and bringing the thunder, learning from past mistakes. And again, it's all about having fun at the end of the day. But personally, I have fun when I'm winning. So I want to see people bring the thunder next time again, especially those who are in the contention bracket this time. I want to see you in that beautiful playoffs bracket next time.
Yeah, absolutely. But Grace, we are going to be getting a player in for an interview after our short break. But first off, let's just sum up this series. It was a 3-0, it was weighted, so technically it was a 2-map win over the side of Boosted Eagles. Is there anything that you want to pick out as just a general statement for the side of Boosted Eagles for going into the summer split in a couple of months that they can really work on, or something that they need to bring attention to?
I think sometimes it's being a bit more mindful about how your agent composition is going to fall into the side pick, especially when it comes to these more weighted maps that are weighted towards one side than another. If you've got the advantage, you need to take it. That's the only kind of mini bit of advice that I would take.
Yeah, well, you've heard it on Grace. You gotta be decisive in your plays. We know you girls are cracked enough. You just gotta have the confidence behind it. And we have seen some of these rounds have been amazing clutches from both sides. Just be decisive. We know you're cracked enough to do it. And hopefully we'll see you take the cake on next split.
Yes.
But we are going to
100%.
be going to a short 7-minute break. But we will be back with the captain of Ascente to talk through their win.